Welcome in, curious crafters, to the 1 hour Saturday Spotlight. Today, we'll be highlighting, and I'm so going to mispronounce this, Ex Libris crafts. Ex Libri? Can't do that in the Latin term, it doesn't really work. But you'll see her in a moment. Any questions seen within the chat at any point, start to finish, will be saved and asked at the end when Karen Jean's 1 hour interview with myself is complete. Now, Karen Jean, please try and ignore the chat as best you can. No peeking. I'm watching you. So's everybody else. I will begin the countdown clock as soon as you come up. So when you're ready, give me a thumbs up. That's good enough for me. Welcome in.
Hello.
Ta-da! The Queen of Journaling has her crown. Not sure whether she sat on her throne or not, but we won't ask.
Yes, it's a purple throne. I don't know if you can see I can. I'm on it. I'm actually going to take this off because it hurts.
Oh, no. That's right, okay.
I'll leave it on for a little while. It's a solid piece of metal, so, you know, it's... Anyway, go ahead.
They're not built for comfort.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you ready, my dear?
I am ready, but before we start, I do
now she says. She should have said this before we did all the public stuff. Go on.
No.
Go work.
2 things. Congratulations on 500 subscribers.
Oh,
yay,
thank
Lisa.
you.
And the second thing is that if perchance at the end of this hour I'm speaking with an English accent, it is completely unbeknownst to me, and I mean no disrespect. Okay, I'm just putting that out there.
You go for it. If it happens at the end, boo. If it happens partway through, woohoo.
Yeah. So there we go. Forewarned is forearmed.
It's fine by me. I quite looking forward to it. Okay. Are you ready? Are you poised? Are you full of knowledge and stuff?
We'll find out.
Okie dokie. Let's go. Countdown timer is on. Da, 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 da. Karen Jean, who is your target audience?
Oh, my target audience?
I like it when people do that. It means they weren't prepared and they were like, I wasn't expecting that question.
I don't like to prepare. It's the same way I do my art. I don't prepare. I just do. I don't know if I've never thought about that. I don't know if I have a target audience. I guess my target audience would be people who like to see art being made, who like to be inspired, you know, in their own crafting and art worlds. And people who like to have a laugh because, you know, I usually do something stupid and wind up laughing at myself. So, you know, we are perfect in our imperfections.
I don't like to laugh and I don't like being inspired. You're useless to me.
Oh, you're so full of it.
Okay. Next question. Are you an extrovert or an introvert?
I am both. On all those tests, I fall kind of like right in the middle, so I think I have a split personality. I am an extroverted introvert. Let's put it that way. Just because of the different things I've done in my lifetime, the different career paths that I've had. I like being alone. I'm not afraid of being alone. Basically, it's like, leave me alone, people. Let me just, you know. 6 feet isn't far enough, okay? But at the same time, you know, I can be very, very extroverted in encountering people and in entertaining and in building community around me. So I'm an extroverted introvert.
So ever so slightly more on the extrovert than the introvert, means you've put your extroverted introvert as extrovert first. Maybe?
I don't know. I really think that
I love the scrunch up face of,
yeah, the
oh
scrunchy
no,
face.
don't
Yeah.
ask me these questions.
Like
What
right
did you?
now, right now, I'm very much an extrovert. You know,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
very much an extrovert.
yes.
But at the same time, in order, I don't want to say in order for me, from I find my peace and my comfort by myself in nature. You know,
Oh,
so that's like the introverted part of me. That's how I recharge. I think extroverts recharge or get recharged by being in those extroverted situations. That's not me. Um, I don't, come home and pass out like I know a lot of my friends do. After they have to be on, so to speak. But yeah, it's a balance, right? Just like nature and life, balance.
we are part of nature.
We are.
I am a tree. But
What
moving
kind
on.
of tree?
An oak tree.
An oak tree. Okay.
Very British, very strong, but I weep at the slightest touch. But it's not my interview. Let's get on with your next question.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Who would you love to see on your channel leaving a comment for you that you haven't already?
Ooh, 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 ooh. Um, Dawn at the Book Vandal shop.
Why?
Another YouTuber. I think she does a lot for creators. She promotes creators in a different way than you do. Her I just love her art, the way she now you have me thinking about everybody that I like on YouTube.
Only one, only one.
So it would have to be Dawn at the Book Vandal shop.
There we go.
I've learned a lot from her.
So, as she's another YouTuber,
Mhm.
at the end of this, we will stick her channel down below to give her a little bit of credit because you've given her a shout out. Woo woo! I just give me time, guys. If you're in here now and you want the link, you're gonna have to wait up to an hour after this is out. I'm so sorry. But anyone watching the replay, it's down below.
There you go.
Okay. Right. We will get into your skill. Don't panic. But we'll edge around it first a little bit. So what holds you back from taking your skill further?
I was going to say time, but that's not the true answer. That's not the real true answer, because the next thing that popped into my head was laziness. So,
Hey, at least be honest.
yes. Oh, if I'm anything, it's honest. I don't believe in secrets. So, yeah, and I guess they kind of go hand in hand. Sometimes I have, dry spells. Everybody, where you're just not feeling the motivation or the creativity. And then, like a week ago, I became very, very motivated and very excited and was creating. But then life gets, in the way, the responsibilities of putting a roof over your head kind of thing. So, yeah.
I don't know what you mean. What do you want a roof for? Greed. Greed. Okay. Can you name a time when your patience was tested?
Not in crafting, but I certainly have had my patience tested in life. Sure. Like right now, my patience is being tested because my dog is downstairs in the living room whining, and it's annoying the heck out of me.
Don't worry, we can't hear. Well, actually,
That's
we can.
why I have my little. Don't. Yeah, I don't want to see any comments, people. My modern day dog whistle. Little press of that button, and you know, that sound, and she'll stop. So no comments. No comments.
You're so mean.
I'm a good
so
dog
mean. Okay, so right now, it's a good example. It's a good example.
Yeah.
When she said, like right now, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what have I done already? We're only at the start. Okay. Right. Regarding this, can be either about your channel or your skill. Okay. Has the way you've worked changed from when you began?
Yes, most definitely. And I think it's evident in my channel. My first video was not even a year ago. Okay. And after being introduced to this art, from the very first journal that I did and gave to my beloved sister Jessica, sister in love, not in blood, and that journal compared to what I'm doing now is so drastically different. And also, I've added. Now, I'm not just making journals, but I'm also I've gone off into the card making. I love making cards. I've learned a lot in card making that I add to journal making. A lot of the skills and techniques in card making. So and supplies. So they're very interrelated.
Jessica's now sitting there going, "Yeah, you've got a shout out, but you're telling me that I got Pooh and now you do great. Brilliant, thanks."
Not at all, and not at all. That journal was a true gift of love. Yeah, but just the papers I used and the stuff I used in it. It was more of a true junk journal than what I do now. I don't do junk journals now. I do journals.
So there you go, guys. Now you know it's journaling, card craft. Can we say paper craft in general, although it does go into other slight realms?
Oh, my crown is slipping. Yeah, paper craft. I know,
that's
right?
a bad thing. Oops,
let's get saucy with it. Let's get saucy. There we go.
Ow! We're going to have a bald Karen Jean at the end of this.
We are. And you know, I have 4 other crowns behind me, so I could already just go pick another one. But this one, everyone seems to like this one the best. So there we go.
Well, you know, it's if you're trying to please the public, go for it.
No, I like it because it's pretty and sparkly. You
know. Okay. Sparkles. Okay. Have you ever given up only to start again at a later date? Now that can be YouTube or your skill.
No.
Oh, so she's just kept it going. She's reeling it on out. Good girl.
Well, this paper crafting, excuse me, like I said, it's only been about a year to the depth that I'm like had this whole studio around me. But I started. I'm a woman of a certain age, okay? So I started crafting. I started, I guess, with sewing back when I was a teenager. And that evolved over time from making clothes to quilts to, I surround myself with fabric, which I use a little bit in the paper crafting. I use it to cover the journals, but that's something. My sewing, actually, I would say, is something that I stopped simply because I didn't have the space for it over the years, although a lot of the stuff I've had for over 30 years, as far as materials and my sewing machines and stuff like that. But I'm so focused and having so much fun with the paper craft that I haven't done any real sewing. I haven't made a quilt. I haven't made any clothes. And I'm the type of person who still, to this day, when I go shopping in the clothing stores, I look at the price and say, oh, I can make it for cheaper, so I never buy any new clothes.
But you don't do it.
But I don't do it. So there we go.
I have to say, I would like to clear something up, which I'm sure some people in here would be kind of shaking their fist at the screen about. You
Uh-oh.
saying, I just don't have the room for it. There is always room. You make room.
No, I have room for it now, but in the past, when I was living like in a 1-bedroom apartment, you know, everything was in bins in the closet, kind of thing.
I still think it's an excuse. Okay.
All right. I'll give you that one.
Next question. Do you research trends or materials?
No. I don't know. I don't think research. No.
Doesn't even have to be necessarily like hardcore research, but even if you were to go hunting on Pinterest for ideas or what the thing is.
I haven't been on Pinterest in a while. I used to be on Pinterest and get lots of ideas for like I used to in the past, perhaps again in the future, if the world ever opens up again and we have fairs and stuff like that, would make girls' dresses out of men's shirts. Got that off of Pinterest. And that wasn't that long ago. I guess as far as like researching and stuff, oh, excuse me, I do watch YouTube videos. You know, at night I'll scroll through YouTube, my feed. I subscribe to a lot of different channels. And so there are people out there who I actually, no, I no longer watch them because, there we go again, they're great crafters and creators, but they're promoting a certain brand. And it's like, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch the craft and the creation. I don't want to watch you promoting a brand, which is then going to want to make me go spend money to buy it, you know? So
yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But it's good that you do what you do because you want to do it rather than, oh, okay, unicorns and rainbows is a trend right now. I better do a lot. So
no, well, here's a perfect example, especially in the junk journal world. I guess one of the biggest trends and the big thing is like these Victorian cream colored lace. This is what is very popular out there. It's just not me. I'm all jewel tones and bright colors and sunshine, and beige is my least favorite color, if you can call it a color. So my sister Debbie, shout out to Deborah Lynn, my sister Debbie, challenged me to do something in that vein. And I did make something in that vein, a couple of little folios, but it was a challenge for me because it was not, it just isn't me, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, the good thing with creams is, okay, they might not be a statement piece, but they make a great foundation.
True.
Need a blank canvas.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to be talking about tote boxes here or cardboard boxes, but give an example of when you thought outside of the box.
I was making a journal. I think I called it the Garden Gate Journal. It has since sold, but
very beautiful journal.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
loved it.
The YouTube, there are videos on it. But when I was making, on one page of it, the actual Garden Gate was pure inspiration, and how I was doing that with the paper I had, and so I think that was me thinking out of the box, and how I made it look like there was smoke coming out of a chimney, kind of thing. Yeah,
it's a very, very beautiful journal. Love it. Okay, if you could name a craft product or have your own crafting line, what would it be called?
If I could have my own crafting line, what would it be called? Well, I guess it would be.
No, I asked you that.
I guess it would be called Ex Libris, right? That's my
channel name.
Yeah, that's the brand name. I don't think that there's a tool that I've been looking for and can't find. As far as
is there one that you think you could improve slightly, that you can go, I think it needs part of this on it. Now it's next Libris tool.
I can't think of any off the top of my head. No.
Boring. Next.
Sorry.
How do you decide what to make next?
I don't decide. I get inspired. Like this last journal that I've made that I think might be done, but I'm not sure if it's done yet.
Have you got it near you?
I do. I have it right here, actually.
Can we see?
Okay, I'm putting it up. There we go.
Good girl.
It is, I bought this pack of paper. It's actually a 3-inch spine, which is the biggest I've ever made. And it has 4 signatures in it, which means 4 sections. But I live in southeastern Pennsylvania in the United States, and it has been snow upon snow upon snow. And I'm tired of the darn snow. And I went to a store, and there was this pack of paper called Hello Spring. I don't know if with the glare if it can be seen, but it was just like 12 different pieces of 12 different cardstock scrapbook paper that was double-sided and some stickers. So I really loved it, and I challenged myself to do a journal. So this is it. I'm just not sure if it's done. Like, there's nothing on the cover. I don't know if I want to put anything on the cover, you know. Yeah, but it's beautiful. The pages are all beautiful spring-like pages, you know, that I color myself. I dye myself. Little fabric lace.
I think I had a little hint, but is there maybe a ladybird in there somewhere?
Yes, actually, there are ladybirds.
Because you can't not have you can't have a spring journal.
There are ladybugs.
Well, you know, you guys call them ladybugs, but you guys ruined the English language. Just show me a spotty bug woman. I'm sure I saw a hint of one, but you can't have a spring.
Now the pressure is on.
You can't have a spring journal without a little ladybird in there.
There are ladybugs in here. There are. I don't. Now you're going to put me on the.
Come on, girl. Come on.
Come on.
Look whose channel you're on. Come on.
Oh my gosh. Flip, 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 flip. I just really like the colors.
Like fairly near the front, before the purple.
Before the purple. There are ladybugs, but they're not very big ladybugs. You have a keen eye for ladybugs. It's what you're on the lookout for.
Hey, I find them so easy. It's just horrible. I can walk into a car garage and find a ladybird. It's ridiculous.
Ladybird. I love that you call them ladybirds. Is that what they're called over on your side?
That's what they're called over here. Yeah.
Okay, now your channel name makes more sense to me.
There you go. Well, the channel name is my name plus the fact that it's an insect.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I really can't find one.
Right. I'm disgusted. I'm taking you off solo layout. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, now you find one.
Now I found one. Here. Do you see it?
Oh, look! Live little ladybird life. Oh, and there's one down the bottom as well with the butterflies. Yeah!
There you go.
Now I'm happy. Okay, it's a good interview. I'm happy.
Oh, all right. Okay. So
well done. Yay! Well done.
Yeah, this took me a minute or two, didn't it?
It's fine. You got there in the end. It's all good.
Thank you.
With regarding to your YouTube videos that you put out, do you seek feedback when you post a video, or is it no, it's out there, I don't care what I get back for it, it's out there, if people want to watch it, they watch it, if they don't, they don't? Or do you go hunting through the comments and pick up the critique or the ideas or whatever they may be?
Well, I don't get that many comments on my videos. I don't go hunting for comments, but I respond to them. I try to respond to all of them. Some people have given me ideas and stuff, and I've had a couple of little conversations with people, and that's enjoyable. I find that I make I'm making the videos like on the journaling and on the card making because I enjoy doing that, and that's what's fun. The videos that get the most views, of course, are when I give tours of the craft space. That's like
People like craft rooms.
They do. Like, that's what my daughter says. She's like, Mom, they like craft rooms. They like organization. They like people organizing things. So I'm like, okay.
We like the jealousy. We like to get the green-eyed monster, you know?
Well, you get it. You get a lot of good ideas. That's why. And so I do watch the people organizations videos because it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Let me try that,
There you go.
Yeah.
See? That's all your channel should be about. Just craft room. Here's a craft room. Look at it. Okay, done. Goodbye. Okay. Now, think about it carefully. Or maybe you don't have to. But if you could win a lifetime supply of products from your favorite craft brand, who would you choose?
Ooh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
One.
Tonic Studios.
Oh.
Because they have a very large umbrella. They cover Tim Holtz. They cover Simon Hurley. They cover Diane Reevely. I love her. She's so sarcastic and bright colors and stuff. So, yeah, if it could only be one, it would be Tonic Studios. I think they kind of, I don't want to say they have a corner on the market, but they're very, very popular. Ranger Ink and all that other stuff. So, yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Oh,
what were you expecting?
I don't know, but it wasn't that.
It wasn't that.
But it's a very good choice. Exactly like you said, it's an absolutely huge umbrella and covers so much. It's like, no, let's just go with up there and ignore the little people because we'll get them under the umbrella anyway. So who cares? Let's just go for the umbrella. Well done. Okay. On average, remember average.
Okay.
How long does it take, start to finish, for you to put out a video?
Oh. Well, I try to keep some videos are longer. On average, start to finish. So recording, editing, publishing. 2 to 3 hours.
Is that it?
Yeah, wow. I don't do a lot of editing. A lot of people do voiceovers on their videos. Yeah, no, I just some I do when things get a little if I have to like fast forward through spots and things like that because nobody wants to watch you, do whatever I'm doing for however long it takes. So I'll do some voiceovers. So yeah, but I try to keep the videos shorter so people don't lose interest. Right. And I've just actually started making videos of when I'm doing cards, and making a card doesn't take that long. So, yeah. So if it's a card making video, it's even less time than that. My crown is slipping again. Oh my gosh, I'm falling off my throne. Yeah. So
I have to say, I wish I'd never said the word throne, because if you're in the UK and you say I'm going to go sit on the throne, it means you're going to the toilet. Yeah.
It's the toilet, yeah.
So I do wonder what you're actually sitting on right now.
Do you want to see? I will get.
Oh no, she went all English. She went all English.
What?
You went all English.
I went all English. Did I? What did I do?
You said, do you want to see?
See, I told you it's a purple chair. See?
That's kind of funky.
Purple's my favorite color.
Oh.
I told you I was going to do it. And I didn't realize I was doing it. So there you
I'm
go.
I'm waiting for the full sentences with it.
Oh, please. When I was a teenager, this might be too much TMI, too much personal information. When I was a teenager, we lived in Europe for a year. And when we were traveling around England, you know, we met people obviously, and we're at a campground. And I was going and hanging out with with English kids. And I came back and my mother was asking me questions and I was talking to her and she started yelling at me. I'm like, why are you yelling at me? Because I was speaking with an English accent and I didn't know it. So
I don't see the problem in that. I talk with an English accent every day and nobody tells me off.
I know. It's like, even if I was, well, okay, so I'm talking with an English accent, but why are you yelling at? Why are you yelling? Why are you yelling, lady? I'm originally from New York, so, you know, why are you yelling?
New York. Okay.
New York.
What would force you to stop using YouTube, or what would force you to stop doing your journaling, your junk journaling?
What would force me to stop?
Mm-hmm.
Like put on hold or stop forever?
Stop.
Oh, I would have to say death or the inability to use my hands.
Oh.
Art is this is my happy place. This studio is my happy place. Sometimes I'll just come and sit in here and look at all my pretty colors because I have the colors out so I can see them because they're inspiring and they're calming to me. So yeah, for people who create, and I don't even want to say that because I think we're all artists and creators in our own ways. We just use a different outlet for it, whether it be music, well, that's an art, but whether it be teaching or preaching or anything, you know, there's that saying, do what you're passionate about and you'll never work a day in your life. And I think that if you're doing what you're passionate about, then you're creating and you're doing art. It might not be the definition of art as we see it, you know, like painting or music or something, but any outward expression is art, I think. So I'm getting a little bit heady, aren't I?
It's all right. It's a good place for me to turn around and say we're now halfway through our interview.
Really? Already?
We are.
Wow.
So, Miss Karen Jane, I have stopped the timer just to address our live audience. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Your questions and your compliments are being shoved into my staff room. They're all being saved for Karen Jane at the end. So please keep them coming in as they'll be asked at the end. If you yourself are a crafter and you are in here, or would like to nominate a crafter, please send me an email. The address is in the description down below. Now, have you finished doing those things that I said you could do during my...
Yes.
Okie dokie. Right. in that case...
Oh my God. What a hoot. What a hoot.
I will restart if I get me laminates the right way round. There we go. Okay. Countdown timer has restarted. How old were you when you first learned your craft?
Well, that's okay. A year ago. So I was 58. I'm 59. So.
Wow.
Yeah, paper crafting. Yeah, a year ago. What I'm doing now, a year ago. 58. See, you're never too old. You're never too old.
Never too old. If you've got the passion for it, go for it.
Go for it.
Okay, next question. Who taught you your skill?
One night a year ago, when I was scrolling through YouTube, I really hadn't gone on YouTube before that. I guess I was just, let me see what's on YouTube. And in my stream, in the suggested videos, was this video from a YouTuber, Pam, at the Paper Outpost. and it was How to Make a Junk Journal Part 1. I was like, oh, and I watched it and I'm like, well, I can do that. That looks like fun. So I don't even remember what your question was, but that's who got me started.
Oh my gosh, I'm talking to her and she's not even listening.
I'm not even listening.
I asked you who taught you. Who was your main?
So self-taught by watching YouTube videos, Pam at the Paper Outpost. And then that led to, just opened up this whole world and all these creators on YouTube and me finding my own path through all that to where I am now.
I love that. So where do you get most of your materials from?
At this point, it's some thrift stores. I think you call them charity shops in England, or stuff laying around. I don't want to say stuff laying around the house. At this point, I buy a lot of my stuff, which is that's why I don't do junk journaling, because junk journaling is supposed to be, things like from ripping up old books and using book pages and using junk mail and, junk mail envelopes and all that stuff. But, so I get my stuff on sale. There are where I live. There are three, but one's kind of far away. Major craft stores, and they're called Michael's and Joann's. Joann's is more sewing and fabric, but they have crafts as well. So that's where I get most of my stuff from. When it's on sale, of course, because I refuse to pay full price for anything, because that's just
Good girl.
I'll wait for it to go on sale. Because things are expensive. So yeah.
Sounds like my kind of thing. I like it. Michael's does come up a lot during these spotlights. I want a Michael's.
And there was another store here in the States called AC Moore, and they went out of business. Right when the pandemic hit is when my local AC Moore was closing. So, oh my gosh, I got so many great deals. Saved so much money at that point. And that's when I was first starting this craft. So, yeah, but now it's Michael's and Hobby Lobby, but there's really not a Hobby Lobby close to me. But that's another big one.
I kind of liked your first answer that you made to be more of a slip up with things around the house. I love that idea. I wouldn't have thought that was really a mistake, because it's looking around, what can I use? Okay, I don't really need that. Let's cut it up. Let's glue it. Let's.
Definitely. Magazines. I go through magazines a lot and cut out those pictures. Birds, flowers, things like that to put in the journal, either gluing them down or also paper napkins, especially if they have, obviously not especially, you don't want a plain purple one, although I suppose you can use that, a design on them. You peel them apart and get that top layer, and then you can glue that down and make a nice look, wrapping paper, tissue paper, old notebooks and stuff that you're not using, old books even that you're not using. You could use the book pages to make the things that you put in the journal, whether it be envelopes or little pockets, or like make journaling cards out of them, which is, and for me, although I do buy a lot of the paper now, or I dye my own paper. That's what I do, is I have regular white copy paper, and then I dye it different colors. But the book itself, like this journal here, you don't need to go full screen on this, but this journal here is the cover of this is made out of I think a cereal box, or it's just a box of something you buy in the store. Everything's in a little cardboard box when you pick it off the shelf or out of the freezer section. And that's what I use for my my book bases. I don't use chipboard or anything like that. I recycle. That stuff. So, yeah.
She's thinking out of the box by thinking of boxes.
But that's not an original idea.
Yeah, but still, it's an idea, and you've used it. So, well done, you.
Thanks. It saves the
Okay.
land, even though it's recyclable, it's one less thing that we're recycling it, truly. So
As we should be with everything. Okay. Do you use any patterns or plans for your work?
no.
Do you
No.
take anybody else's idea and go, I'm going to use that as a base, but I'm going to extend on it?
Oh gosh, yeah. Like earlier I mentioned Dawn at the Book Vandal shop.
Mm-hmm.
And she does instructional YouTube videos on things. Mine are not instructional. Mine are just come along for the ride videos. But I learned how to make this, and this is why I admire her so. A folio out of an old file folder. We all have old
Mm-hmm.
file folders sitting around the house and hanging file folders that we don't use anymore, and repurposing them. Also, I learned from her how to make like a coin envelope, which I put in some of my journals. I think I have one in my Flamingo Journal over here.
Show us, show us, show us, show
All right,
us.
let me. And this is why royalty never have problems with their crown slipping, is because they're always just standing upright and never bending over for anything. That's the truth, right? Okay, so this is the Flamingo Journal, right? Very pretty.
Flamingo. Is that glittery? Oh, it's glittery.
It is glitter. The ribbon is glittery. So this ribbon it wraps around the book because these journals can expand. This has lace and pink pom-poms, and all right, I have to put it down so I can flip through. Oh, here it is, right here. So this is whoops. This is the coin envelope that I'm talking about. So it wraps, oops, sorry. The string wraps around it, and I'm trying to do this backwards. It flips out. It's a little bit gusseted. So the envelope opens a little bit. And so it's a pocket, like a coin pocket, like from the olden days we used to get at the banks. And then behind here, the way it's glued down is, there we go, is a pocket as well. And that's just a journaling card back there. So, but I learned how to do this, how to make this, by watching Dawn at the Book Vandal shop. I'm very proud of myself for trying to get this done right now. Working backwards.
You are allowed to look at it while you're doing it, you know.
I'm trying to keep it
We will allow that.
There. And see, that's an example over here of a magazine. This is actually, I think, this tree is taken from a calendar. Like, we have a store here called the Dollar Tree. And at the end of the year, I went in there and they had all the prior year calendars on sale for a penny a piece. So I just grabbed them all because it's a penny. And I cut that out and I glued that down there as a decoration.
See, that's just brilliant thinking.
Brilliant thinking, because I'm brilliant.
Brilliant thinking. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Let's go with your junk journaling now. We've found out about your YouTube. Now with your journals, how long does it take you roughly to make one? And that's from idea process all the way through.
Okay. Obviously I don't do it all in one sitting.
Oh, you don't? Oh, boring.
I don't do it all in one sitting because, sometimes it's tiring and the dog comes up to remind me it's time for her to go out and things. Because I do get lost.
Life gets in the way.
Life does get in the way, gosh darn it. So I would say that it's really super dependent on what's going on in the book, and how I don't want I get my inspiration when I was crafting and not sewing, but when I was quilting, when I was quilting, I would buy a piece of fabric because I loved the design or whatever that was on it, but I couldn't make a quilt out of it yet until the fabric spoke to me and told me what it wanted to look like. I know that sounds off the wall, new agey, crazy kind of stuff, but the same thing goes for bookmaking and junk journals. So sometimes I would say start to finish, adding up all the time I would say, wait a minute, let me think. What's coming to my head is like 8 hours. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. It depends.
That's not bad. I was expecting a lot more hours. A lot more hours. I think that's pretty good for an average. I know that's an average. That's not typical for everyone.
It's an average, and actually the average might be a little lower. Especially now. Like in the beginning, it took me a lot more time to plan, so to speak, like put the pages together for each section. What I call signatures. Let me just open this one back up. See, this here has three strands. So that's
sorry.
It's okay. 3 strands. So that's 3 signatures sewn in. So at the beginning, of course, it took me longer to figure out how best to do that, and what a signature entails, is like this one hunk of paper here on this other section, and deciding on what order I want, pulling out the supplies, the paper and stuff like that, and putting them in order. It used to take longer than it does now. And I think that's because now I want to say maybe my journals are starting to get a little bit too much alike in a certain way, because I use my hand-dyed papers. Usually the first page that I wrap around the section, which is called the signature cover, I use a heavier paper, like a cardstock printed paper, for that, to give it some more stability. So I've gotten into a bit of a formula, which as I'm talking to you, I'm realizing that maybe I need to start changing that up a little bit, because maybe things are just being too much the same throughout each journal. Like the bases are there.
You've gotten into your little comfort rut.
Yeah, right. Exactly, a rut. And I need to, or maybe not, I don't know, get out of it or not get out of it. I don't know. So
maybe just explore the top edge a little bit of that little rut, just to see what's over the other side.
Yeah.
So you've just said that some of your journals are getting a little bit samey. So are you known for a particular technique or style that you use?
I don't think I'm known for anything, quite honestly. I don't know. I guess color. Yeah, I can't. I really can't say that I'm known for anything, because I really don't think I am known for anything like that. But I would say, yeah, my journals are vibrant and bright and colorful.
We can go with that. That works. That works.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what your very first video was about?
Yes, I can. It was a scrap buster video. This was after I was making journals for a couple of months.
I like the scrap busters.
Right, because you get this pile of scraps at the end of it. And that's why I have a new rule now, that no more scraps. I have to use, if I'm cutting a piece of paper or something, using like a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, if I'm using that paper, I have to use the whole thing. No more scraps. I'm tired of all the scraps. So I actually, where is the Paisley journal? I have it here. All right, I'm going in. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Here it is. It's a scrap buster journal. It's tiny. It is tiny, because
nice wing on the cover.
That
Nice
cover
one.
is from a calendar. It's a calendar cover. So it's, the spine is 1.5 inches, but it's narrow. It's like 3.25 inches, which is 8 or 9 centimeters, if I'm reading that right. And so it's 6 inches. So it's like 3.5 by 6. So there's really not a lot of room to do much of anything in it. So, but it was all these scraps that I had. So that's what I did. I started making a little journal out of it, making tags. And this is more in the junk journal vein. This is like a paper lunch bag here, right? That flips open. What else I started doing? Oh, get that down there. Let me look at it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, back here. Again, it's scraps. So it's all these different types of papers, like ledger paper that we use. And then this is a scrap of this calendar. This Paisley calendar is actual a Color Me calendar. So that was just a flip out there, so you could color on it with a pocket, the music page. So this was making this journal, this Scrapbuster journal, was my first YouTube video. Yeah. There we go.
I quite like that little thing because it's nice and it's handy, and it's how much can I shove in it before it bursts.
Exactly.
Okay.
But getting rid of the scraps. And it's blue on the cover.
Well, I didn't want to really push for that one. I'm thinking she's already got blue in her hair. I can't push the blueness around. Okay, I mean, this sort of goes with the previous question, but how is your work different from others who do what you do?
Again, it's the colors. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of artists out there that do this. I haven't come across them. And what I mean by do this is use such bright, vivid colors in their journals. I think they're more towards the Victorian cream lace thing, which is fine. It's some of it's very, a lot of it's very, very pretty. It's just not my style. Trying to think if there's.
You've got to do what you're happy with, what you want.
Exactly.
You can't be working on something and be going, oh, this is horrible. Oh, right. Oh. It's like me crocheting with pink stuff. It's it's wrong. Wrong.
And I have a list. I have ideas of themed journals that I'd like to make. I wanted to make a Disney journal, and then my sister said, "Be careful with that because Disney will sue you." I'm like, "But I bought all this. They have." But if you sell it, then
you can't sell it. Yeah.
You can't sell it. So I'll have to make it and give it away to some Disney lover. But other things like Dr. Seuss or yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's something I only found out recently, that it's like I was offered a Disney pattern for crocheting a Grafgan, and I was told, you're more than welcome to have it, but don't think you can sell your work afterwards because Disney will have your butt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't want it then.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like most about your skill?
The self-expression, the freestyle, the freedom of it. I could do whatever I want in making a journal, or use any kind of pages I want, any colors, any anything, you know, it's limitless. And that's what I like most about it, because it allows for that freedom of expression, and it allows for wonder and excitement to come in through inspiration. You know, like before we were talking about the Garden Gate Journal and how I made that Garden Gate page with the smoke coming out of the chimney. I was like, whoa, I can't believe I thought of that. Wow, you know, thank you for that inspiration. Because, yeah, unless I was actually in the midst of making that journal, that would never have entered my mind. That that Garden Gate door and the, yeah. So now you're all going to have to go look at that video.
And I really think you should, because it's a beautiful journal. It really is. Okay, well, you've just pushed them to go over to your channel, so please, I'm going to send you all big again, just specially for this question.
Oh.
Describe what? Oh yeah. Oh no, put it wonky.
Put it wonky.
Yeah. We don't do normal round here.
Obviously not. Look at me. Almost so boring. All right.
Can you? Can you please
poking me in the head? Go ahead.
Don't worry about being poked in the head. It's fine. It's what happens around here. Can you please describe what your channel is about to those who don't know yet or haven't worked it out?
Well, yes, thank you. Ex Libris Crafts. This Ex Libris is this book, you know, the book plates inside a book, this book. So it is about bookmaking. The logo is a stack of books with scissors and a tape measure. And so my channel is about coming along for the ride with me as I make journals and as I make cards, any kind of, well, those two kinds of paper craft. Which, and in that, journaling is such a huge area. So within that, it's learning how to make envelopes in different types of envelopes, like the coin envelope or a folio, things like that. And just hopefully being inspired, having a little fun, and definitely, hopefully, having a laugh.
Yeah.
That's important, to laugh. So.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, let's make it small again. There you go.
Put me back in my place.
The power of enlarging and making someone very tiny again. Okay. Why do you feel it is important to continue the tradition of recycling and journaling and building from an imagination?
I think it's the only way we grow as a society and as human beings. Certainly recycling is hugely important with what our world is facing now with global warming, which is a real thing. There are a lot of deniers in the world, here in the United States anyway, who don't believe it, but it's real. And so it's important to recycle as much as we can, because we only have one planet and we need to leave it. We don't own it. We're only custodians of it. And I think, I'm not going to get political. I'm just going to say that. I was going to start trash talking. So,
careful.
Exactly. It's important for us to be good stewards of the earth. And recycling is a huge part of that. And as far as journaling goes, whether it be making journals or writing in a journal, that's just another way of self-expression. I personally have never been a big one on actually writing in a journal, but the nice thing about any kind of journal, whether you buy it in a store or something that I make or somebody else makes, is you can express yourself in any way you want, not just in word. You can express yourself in pictures, in sayings. I started my own personal, I call it an art journal, because it's got a lot of stuff glued into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have started writing in it. And funnily enough, it's not a journal that I made, but it's something that I bought a couple years ago. So there we go. It's just a book of pages. So that's important for us to continue to grow within ourselves and to understand ourselves better and to express ourselves. I believe stress is such a huge problem all over the world right now. And if you keep that in, it causes all kinds of health issues, first of all. So you need to let go of things, and journaling, whether it be writing stuff down or art journaling, whatever, journaling is a way to help you with that. So there I go, forgetting your question again, but I hope I answered it.
You have done. You have done in a very, very nice way. So well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Okay, we've got time for one more question from me, and then I will let you choose a question before we hit up the people in the chat. Okay. Is there anything you really do not like about the junk journaling? Like one little thing.
Yes, and it's such a petty thing. If I'm using metal dies to cut something out, and I realize I might be speaking Greek for some people. Hold on a second. Got to stand up for this one. I'm sorry. Here's an example of a metal die. It's a piece of metal that has, and you lay it down on a piece of paper and you roll it through this machine, a die cut machine, and by putting pressure down on the paper, it will cut this out, this shape. But then you have all these little bits of paper that you gotta poke out. Using one of these pokey things.
She don't like poking.
And then you have all these little bits, and this one is actually pretty big. The pieces that you poke out are pretty big, but some of them that I have are, I guess it's a good way to get your frustrations out. I don't know. But then you have all these little bits of,
I don't know. I think it makes me more frustrated doing
all
that.
over the place. All over the place. The place is a mess. And then my dog is terrified of the vacuum. So, and you would think that she's terrified of it so she would run away from it. No, she doesn't run away from it. She tries to climb up on top of me or something when I'm vacuuming. It's ridiculous.
You're her protector.
I'm her protector. So that's very frustrating. See, I'm getting frustrated just talking about it.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to let you pick a number. Okay.
Okay.
Now you can pick between 15, 15, and 66.
How about 59?
That joke is so going to get old pretty quick. Okay. 59.
59.
Ooh. Who or what is your very favorite, only one favorite YouTube channel?
Oh. Okay. It's going to surprise you. At the moment.
Mine. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're lovely. No.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Oh.
No. At the moment, it's Natasha Foote. F-O-O-T. You know Natasha Foote?
Yeah, she was my very first YouTube subscription thingy, but yes. Love Natasha. Her card craft is spot on.
She's the one who got me into card making. I love it.
I don't need to grab the link off you because I'll be able to put that in the description below for you guys. Very happy to.
She's wonderful. She's a great teacher and she really inspires me. I love her videos. Yeah.
Yeah, she's one of my biggest inspirations with cardcraft. So
Mm.
Natasha Foote will be down in the description below for you guys, up to an hour after this live is done and finito.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's that time again. We're now at the end of my portion of the interview. So now we're going to turn to the questions from our live supporters. And we have a maximum of 15 minutes here. So if anyone hasn't asked a question, you better get it in, because when I get to the end of the questions in my little staff room, that'll be it. Right, so bear with me a moment, Karen Jean. I will have a nosy. Okay. First question is from Ditmanittery. Have no idea who she is, but she's popped in.
Hello.
She's going to kill me. Karen Jean, what would you make if you just let yourself make? Big, small? You said jewel tones, and I love those, but I want to know, what would you make if you just let yourself go?
Oh.
A new house.
I'm assuming we're keeping this to the journaling world.
I think so, probably, yes.
Because, hello. It would be skies and birds, but I'm not really, but more like seagulls, like Jonathan Livingston Seagull, was very important, came out when I was a child. And, so that kind of, yeah, that's what it would be. It would be blue skies and fluffy clouds, and because that just speaks freedom to me, that's, if I let myself go, that's what it would be.
And size-wise, how big would you go?
Probably.
Would you keep it nice and small, and so you could just grab it and hold it?
No. It would be more like an American Standard 8.5 by 11 large sheets. It would probably be spiral bound so that I can flip them over. And it would be full of, and it would be like an art journal. It would just be full of pictures and clippings and quotes and my grandmother's poetry and all kinds of stuff that are important to me. And I have what I call my treasure box. It's this metal box, probably an old cookie box, but it doesn't look like any cookie box that I know of, that I've had since, I don't know, high school. And in my treasure box are little comic strips and sayings and quotes and prayers and poetry, all that kind of treasure box. Think of a little kid with his marbles and stuff in his pocket, his little treasures. I have a little treasure box that I've carried with me for years and years and years. So it would be that kind of stuff in there.
That's really sweet.
Oh. Thank you for asking.
No, she's come up with another question for you.
Oh, yay.
And has said, what is your favourite tool to use? What do you think? Yes, I get to use my blah, 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 blah.
Ooh, my favorite tool. That's a tough one. Oh my gosh. I have favorite things, like I have favorite different types of adhesives, and I have favorite, my favorite tool would have to be my spring-loaded Fiskars scissors. My little nips, I call them. I actually have 2 pairs of these. I have one with ribbon on it, a little piece of ribbon on it, to use only with paper when I'm doing fussy cutting, right? And this one I've had longer and is when it's already sticky and stuff. I use this when I have things that are glued, because I don't want to ruin my scissors, because as a seamstress, I cannot tell you how many times people have ruined my scissors.
Yeah.
Using my fabric scissors for something else. So yeah, scissors are, and my scissors, yeah, like these. because otherwise regular scissors, I can't get my fingers in them and they hurt my hands. So my spring-loaded scissors.
You know how to get the glue off your scissors and make them sharp again, right?
Well, no, tell me, because the way I do it, I don't know how to make them. I even bought a scissor sharpener that doesn't work. It's a piece of garbage. I just use like steel wool to get the glue off of it, and maybe run it.
The easier way, if you spray a little bit of, I'm so hoping you know what I mean, WD-40.
Oh yeah, I have WD-40.
Just a tiny little spray, and it wipes off, like literally paper towel, wipe off. And then to sharpen them, get some aluminium foil, fold it a few times, and cut all the way down the blade.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Anyway.
I can't even say it the way you said it because I'm so American.
Do you say aluminum?
Or tin. We say tin foil.
It ain't been tin foil for ages. Tin's toxic. We don't do that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Aluminium.
Okay. Thank you.
So this is a very, very good question, and it has come up 2 or 3 times in the chat that I've seen. Okay. And it's a really, really good one, Beans. This is all about you. People are a little bit confused. No, it's a good question. Yeah. What exactly is a junk journal? Asks Karen Y.
A junk journal is a handmade book. It gets the name junk because it's made from junk mail or junk around the house. So like if you're throwing away the newspaper or a magazine or a bag or anything like that, it's recycling and repurposing the junk in your life and turning it into something different, or turning it into a book. So that's what a junk journal is. It's called the journal because it's something that the person who it belongs to, I guess is the way to put it, can journal in it in any way, shape, or form that they want by adding things of their own, either by writing into it or putting pictures into it, gluing down magazines, or like I was talking about my treasure box, just putting that stuff in there to save. Or it's just a pretty book that you like to look at and keep on the shelf and you don't do anything with, but look at it because it's pretty and you like it, because we all need beauty in our lives and things that make us happy, like my crown.
It's a crown that keeps poking her in the noggin.
Keeps on poking me in the noggin.
Don't worry, you won't have to wear it for too much longer. I mean, you don't have to wear it at all, but...
Well, I do now because my hair is such a... Anyway, go ahead.
How can it be? It's got blue in it. It could never be.
We didn't tell people that it has blue in it. For Lisa's honor, I put a little blue in my hair, but my hair is so dark that it's kind of hard to see.
I've seen it. Honest people, there's blue in there. I've seen the light hit it. There's blue in there.
You've seen the light.
I saw it. Okay, next question comes from Barbara Riggle Baker, who has actually reeled off a few for you. So the next couple are from Barbara Riggle Baker.
Okay.
Do you make your own paper? You have said that you do, but how do you go about it?
Yes and no. That's it. I dye my own paper. I buy the white copy paper from the store, and I dye it. And there's a video on my channel on how I make my paper using either watercolor paints, which is not a tool, but I love my watercolor paints. Watercolor paints, food coloring. You can dye paper using coffee staining paper, or tea staining paper is very popular, especially if you're going for the older look, because those turn out to be browns. A lot of people use their avocado skins, boil them up and dye paper that way, onion skins. There's many different ways that you can use to color paper, and it's the same way way back in the day that people used to dye clothing with that. Now, as far as making my own paper from scratch, I don't do that, but I have been wanting to do that, and I have got the stuff to make my own decal. A decal is a thing. It's basically a screen with a wooden border on it. And you make your own paper by, I don't know, it's something I'm learning and that I want to do, handmade paper that way is something I want to do. And I think that's basically like taking old newsprint and old papers and mashing them up with water and, putting them in a decal. I don't know enough about it, but that's something I do want to do. But I'm not there yet because, boundaries.
It's easy enough. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a favorite type of item to use in your journals?
I'm thinking decorations now. I do. Well, I have a whole wall of, which you really can't see. I suppose I can angle the camera, of my trims, my ribbons, lots of ribbons and lots of rhinestones. Always have to throw some sparkle in there. So, but my favorite thing is my paper flowers. I'm going to back up here and come over here. And I have boxes. Here's a couple of paper flowers that I get at the store. Now I can't get back here. Like the pinks and the whites and the blues, and I have green and yellow and orange and purple. I have all different colors, and I like to put them in there because a lot of, if not most of my journals have some kind of floral element to them, and I also like to use these while I'm decorating cards that I make. So I love it when I can use my paper flowers. I don't always do, but I love it when I can use those.
So how do you decide which items go together?
What do you mean?
What makes you go, okay, that will go with that, but no, that's not going to go with that?
Oh, I guess if the journal has a theme, and most of my journals do have themes. So I don't think these paper flowers would go in a flamingo journal because that's flamingos and palm trees and different kind of flowers. So it's by theme and by color, probably. Yeah. Like the journal, the journal in process, the spring journal, which has bicycles on it. So I can put different bicycle things in there because there's bicycles on the paper, and I like the bicycles. I have bicycle stickers, so I use them in that journal. So I guess it's theme-based. Theme-based. Short answer, theme-based.
Well, going with the colour and going with the theme, Barbara's last question for the moment is, have you ever thought about doing a grunge journal because you like your bright colours?
I have looked at grunge journals, but I have not thought about doing one because it's out of my, it's not out of my comfort zone. It's out of my element. I wouldn't even know how to go about doing a grunge journal, quite honestly. What comes to mind for me when people say grunge journal, the only thing I can think of if I were to make a journal would be like Tim Burton's movie about, the Nightmare Before Christmas or something like that, with the skeletons. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what grunge is. Dark, black, I don't know, so.
Bright colours.
Bright colors, grunge?
Splats. Yeah, very kind of.
See, I don't know.
I suppose it could mean something different to all sorts of people, but I think of paint splats and stuff that it's very mishmashed and punky, and that's me. It's different to everybody.
It is different because when I think grunge, I think black and silver.
Oh, silver sparkles. Yay. Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Comes from the knitting, I keep saying that. I'm so sorry, Gina, don't kill me. Next question comes from Knitting Turnpike.
Hello.
What is your favorite item you've created and why?
Favorite item I created and why? It's a journal that was sold, and I think I called it. And this is how much I know about flowers. The fabric I used on it, I think, was actually lilacs, which I love, but I think I called it something else. And it's my favorite because, oh no, here I am changing my mind. It's a journal that has since sold. And I name them, but I don't remember the name of the journal. It is what I did, and this is why it's my favorite. The journal cover is fabric, and it's a polished cotton fabric, which is like just like a shiny cotton fabric. But it's a fabric that I had from when my daughter was little, and I made a dress out of it for her. And I had extra fabric, and I never throw away our fabric scraps. But what I did was, I had all these different types of fabric that, there was this beautiful floral polished cotton fabric, and then I had like a pink and white fabric and a green and white fabric. And I cut them all up and ironed them on to what's called a heat and bond. So it makes things iron-on transferable kind of thing. And so the cover of this book was bits and pieces of fabric that I put together and ironed on. And that's why it's my favorite, is because not only did I make the cover out of the fabric, but then I also made a photocopy of different bits and pieces of the fabric so I could have it on paper and use that in the journal too. So it's collaged fabric as the cover, and then copies of fabric made onto paper in the journal. So, and I don't remember the name of that journal, but it's there on my YouTube channel somewhere.
It is. It's about halfway through, roughly.
Thank you.
But I'm not going to say anything, because if you want to see, you have to go over and have a look.
I'm glad you're able to find it by how I was describing it.
I know which one you were on about, because that's one that I was initially drawn to. Initially,
thank you.
Gina, the Knitting Turnpike has also asked, what is the one item you haven't made yet but would like to?
I can't think of anything. Yeah, if I can't think of anything. I mean, I have a list, like I talked about making the Disney journal. I've made a couple of Pooh journals, which I loved. Maybe I'll make more of those. But if
I'm hoping you're meaning Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh? No, I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, wait, my stomach just then.
Winnie the Pooh. Who doesn't love Winnie the Pooh? I actually tore into a couple of old Winnie the Pooh books too to make the journals. It was falling apart anyway. I know. I'm such a bibliophile. It's really hard.
And there's me that's reading Winnie the Pooh right now each Saturday, and you thinking of ripping it apart. And no,
I got it at a charity shop, and it was falling apart.
It's not the point.
But anyway, I know my sister was like, "No, you can't do that." So that's done.
There you go, good sister.
Done. But yeah. So if I get inspired to make something, I just go ahead and make it. Right. I don't have anything
well done
sitting in the back of my head that I want to make.
Well done. I think most of us are very envious of that one.
Really?
Yeah, because we have lists of things that we need and want to make, and there's just not enough time or not enough material or something. But we have our lists. Okay, so another very, very good question also comes from Knitting Turnpike. And I'm going to put an added extra onto this.
Okay.
She has asked, what are the different types of journals? I am going to add on not only what are the different types of journals, but what made you pick junk journaling as your main thing?
I don't know the different types of journals. There's like, I guess, a regular journal you buy in a store to write in or whatever. Junk journaling, art journaling, which I think is was kind of hard for me to grasp the definition of what is an art journal. And I don't know if this is right or not, but this is how I define an art journal. And that's basically any type of book or journal that you express yourself in any way, shape, or form, by painting, drawing, gluing things down. There's also something called a glue book. I'm not quite sure what a glue book is either, aside from gluing some of the pages together. I don't know. Junk journaling, I came into journal making through junk journaling because that was the first video I saw from Pam at the Paper Outpost and how she did it. So that was my introduction into the field. And then I just kind of went on my own way, as I normally do.
And right? Why not?
And why not?
Why not?
Exactly.
I quite like this question. There was another one from the last one from Knitting Turnpike. I quite like this question. Do people ever call you up and say, I've got this pile of sentimental items, can you make it into a memorial journal for me?
No, I've had them do that and ask me to make it into a quilt for them, but not a journal. Like clothing. You know,
would it be something that you do? Would you make a memorial journal?
Well, sure, if that's what they want.
So you're quite open to, well, if you give me suggestions, you let me know what you want, I'll
I've taken private commissions, sure. Actually, there's this one private commission that for some reason it was really hard for me to complete. And it's because I was thinking more obviously about what the customer wanted than allowing for my own freedom in creation. And it was really hard for me to do. It turned out to be a really nice journal. And what's interesting is she basically said, do whatever you want because I love your style. Make it purple and make it flowers. Okay. And then it was like make it flowers of the world. I'm like, purple flowers of the world. So then I had to go on to this. Then I had to research. You were talking about research, like, okay, what purple flowers are there out there in the world, and how am I going to put this journal together? What is this? So I do commissions, but that commission, for some reason, was really hard for me. It's like, I don't know why I'm having such trouble with this. She gave me pretty much carte blanche, you know. So anyway, it turned out to be a very nice journal, and she's very happy with it.
Good. Right, last question. And then you're free.
I'm free.
Remember the freedom you spoke of?
Oh, this is fun.
And she can take off her crown as well and go, oh, better. Last question comes again from Barbara Riggle Baker. Mm-hmm. Have you ever used any unconventional items in your journals? As an example, I have used rawhide on a cover and a snakeskin as a bookmark.
Ooh.
Wriggles? Wow. Ew.
Not that. Certainly no. If those are your examples, I would say no, I have not. And that's very, very creative of you. And certainly a lot of inspiration. No.
Unconventional doesn't have to be animals.
No. The thing, and I really don't think it's unconventional at all, is I love to go to the thrift stores and get old jewelry and decorate the covers with old rhinestone jewelry. You know, like as some of those journals have on the covers of my ones that have sold. So I'm repurposing. You know, I'll go to a thrift shop and they'll have this jewelry there and it's like $1 for this beautiful rhinestone butterfly pin. And I look at it and I think, well, do I want to keep it or do I want to put it on a journal? So yeah.
Interesting, my dear. Interesting.
Jewelry. That's
Well,
what I do. Recycle old jewelry.
Why not? Why not? It's recycling is not a bad thing. Karen Jean, our time is now up.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate this. I certainly had a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody who's watching and asking questions. Thank you.
Indeed, thank you to everyone that has joined us at this time and for all your questions and your compliments, which will be passed on to Karen Jean as soon as we have closed down. Thank you also to those watching the replay. It really, really helps, whether that's here on my channel or if we can get Karen Jean to get this up on her channel over there too, let her have some watch hours. Now, Karen Jean, please stay where you are. And to everyone else, thank you very, very much for joining us.
Thanks. Oh, royal wave, royal wave.
Oh my gosh, she's gone all in. We hope to see you at the next Spotlight next Saturday. But for now, thank you very much, and everybody take care.